Jesus liked to teach by telling stories. One day, he told this story to his friends. Once there was a man who had 2 sons. The sons knew that when their father died, they would inherit his money and all of his property. The older son was a hard worker on his father's farm. He got up every day and did his chores and tried to be a help to his father. The younger son did not like being on the farm and working there. He wanted to go away. So one day he came to his father and said, "Give me my share of your property and money now." The father was very sad when he heard this, but he divided the property and gave the younger son his share. A few days later, the younger son gathered up all of his belongings and traveled to a faraway country. There, he spent all of his money until he had none left, not even enough to buy food. He had to take a job with the farmer who sent him out to the fields to feed the pigs. The pigs were stinky, and there was no food for the boy to eat. He got so hungry he would gladly have eaten the pigs' food. The son said to himself, "My father's workers have more bread than they can eat, and here I am, dying of hunger in a pig pen. I'm going to go back to my father and tell him that I'm sorry. I will ask him to hire me as one of his workers too." So the son set off for home. He traveled a long way, and he was tired. But while he was still far down the road, the father saw him coming. He got up and ran to his son and hugged him and kissed him. The son said, "Father, I have done so many bad things. I'm not good enough to be called your son anymore." But the father called out, "Bring out a robe for my son. Bring sandals for his feet and a ring for his finger. We are going to have a feast." And everyone came and began to celebrate the younger son's return. Meanwhile, the older son had been out in the fields working. When evening came, he started towards home. And pretty soon he heard noise coming from the house, the noise of a party. He asked one of his father's workers, "What's going on?" The servant said, "Your younger brother has come home and your father is celebrating." When the older son heard this, he was very angry. He said to his father, "This is not fair. I've worked hard every day. I never ran away. You didn't give me a party. But my brother, he runs off, he wastes all your money, he makes a big mess, and now you're having a feast to celebrate him?" But the father replied, "My son, you are always with me, and everything that I have is yours. But come, now we must celebrate. Your brother was lost, and now he's been found." Which character in this story is most like you? Have you ever felt jealous of someone? What did you do? How do you feel about what the father said and did in this story? This story is taken from Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 32, and this text is adapted from Shine On, a Story Bible.